So Novgorod might take a lot from the Goths here, which could really change the balance of powers in this game. So needless to say, this would have lasting impacts on the game. I mean, there's a huge invasion that is beginning, and this will probably be the end of the Goths. Now, I don't know if it's going to be the end of the Greeks. The Greeks might be okay. It really depends. I mean, the Greeks are barely holding on. They're very lucky that the Egyptians aren't continuing to invade. Looks like Bohemia and France have peaced out. Yeah, I just realized right now that Bohemia is the only civ that doesn't, Bohemia is one of the only teams that the modded civ is the leader. That's kind of interesting, which I think that is because Bohemia has another modded civ on their team too. Anyways, here comes France, and they're actually beginning to press a little bit further forward in the invasion of Prussia. Again, there's been some pretty big difficulties when it comes to invading both Prussia and Poland. I think Poland's done a good job of continuing to kind of help out and provide some support there, but clearly most of their lands have been clearly ravaged because all the pillaged tiles, like holy moly, that's crazy. Denmark dealing with a little bit of rebels. And look at the Netherlands, man. The Netherlands are looking better and better. I'm actually shocked. And let's not forget, I mean, the Armenians, their team member, maybe that's because maybe they're like kind of showing a little bit of strength now because the Armenians are doing so well. Let's see if they can take the city over. Two Gatling guns might be enough. No, it's not. Just barely not enough. But they still might be able to take it over with the swordsmen, even though that's a pretty late game. That's a pretty out of technology. It's like out of the time. It's very out of date. Actually, have the Huns gone yet? The Huns will totally just destroy this unit because they're too close to the city. Definitely should have thought about that. Actually, I don't think Armenia is going to be able to take this one over. I'm wondering if the Huns are going to be forced to peace out with Armenia for a city. How crazy would that be? Also, let me apologize here for not putting this single player score list on. There we go. Bam. So yeah, obviously we have number 1 Russia, Novgorod still. And here comes the invasion. So the Goths still have units that they're using to protect them with. Again, I think we're still waiting for the Austrian Hungary to kind of figure out what they're going to do. When they decide to invade, that will be huge, because this city will definitely fall. They need to do it. They need to decide early. They need to decide like kind of right now. I know that they're focused on attacking Bohemia at the moment. Salzburg is also under invasion, slightly losing a little bit of health. Let's see what they do. Let's see if they invade, because this city is like, it's only at 5 population, and Novgorod's coming down from the north. They've already have all these units here. Hungary's helping out a little bit. We've got the Huns piecing out with the Huns in Bavaria, piecing out with Bohemia. So there looks like they're gonna be able to escape this somewhat. I don't think Bavaria is gonna lose their capital, at least. That would be huge if that were to happen. Bavaria, I'm sorry, let me remind everyone that Bohemia is by themselves, so that's part of the problem here. Some things that we need to think about in the next one is we either need to make the teams farther, or because they were random, that made certain teams have more of an advantage than others. And actually that was fine for this first playthrough. Wow, lots and lots of huge sort of battles going on up here between Milan and Bavaria. That was fine for the first playthrough because I still don't think anyone knew what was going to happen. Wow, they did take that over. That is incredible. I cannot believe this. Armenia is just doing work. It was okay for this first playthrough to have it on random because I don't think we all knew. I didn't know what the heck was going to happen in a campaign like this big with 2 teams each. Clearly, yeah, some of the teams that started off together, they do have an advantage. But at the same time, look at Austria Hungary. I mean, I know I've kind of built them up, and I know that I've said that I like them and that they're a pretty good team. Thing is, though, they haven't done that well. Novgorod and Russia, they're in a good they're in a good geographical location. Rome and the Papal State, on the other hand, they're together and they haven't done very well. Greeks and the Goths did well. The Vandals and Songhai kind of had to make this like makeshift sort of friendship alliance thing, and they were able to come together, and that helped out a little bit. But I mean, now they're doing better. They still need to take out the Moors, though, if they really want to solidify, I think, their role in this world. Spain, I think, is very, very close to going to war with the Moors. It looks like it. Ooh, and here comes France. Didn't think about France embarking like that or moving through British and Portuguese territory. This world is building up. I really think that, I know there's been a few world wars, but I mean, it's getting to the point where like the AIs are starting to be able to easily take cities over with new technologies, new units, stuff like that. It is getting to the point where I think the world's about to just explode. I don't know. I can't confirm that. Again, this is all first time thing. We don't know what's gonna happen. The other campaign that we did with teams was so weird because Germany started to just snowball. So it kind of like ended a lot of sort of the look of what was happening, I guess you could say. So I don't even know if we could reference, I mean, referencing the beginning part of the first team battle that we did probably works. But at this point, we have nothing to reference off of because Germany started snowballing at that point in the other series. So things didn't really matter as much. Oh, Bohemia is for sure going to fall if there's no peace deal. Bohemia's just lost like all their units. But Bavaria is also losing a lot of units. So even though Bavaria gained a city from Bohemia, they are still going to be pretty hurt. Who's going to take this over, though? Will it be Austria or will it be Hungary? And how's Greece doing? Greece is okay. Remember, the Hittites just took over Constantinople, which was huge. I think for their sake, it was huge. But look at these citadels. Man, they are not happy about that. The Goths just, bam, dropping. More generals. So they're going after the big city. Novgorod's clearly going after the big city first. You know, it actually might be smart if Austria and Hungary stay out of the Gothic War for now, especially now that Novgorod's going for the other city. I'm sorry, stay out of the Goths and the Novgorod war for now because they need to take over Bohemia. That's very crucial. That's much more important, I think, than anything else. Let's embargo the city-states again, and then maybe I'll do the international games in the next turn. Oops, I just clicked through all of those ideologies. Either way, it seems like there's still pretty... Oh, we have our first freedom nation. The Moor is choosing freedom. And then only 3 order nations. Everyone else is autocratic. We kind of figured that was going to happen. Seems as though Austria is going to take this over, but who knows? Is Austria at war with Bavaria? I can't remember. Looks like they might be. Maybe. Maybe that's why they're not going after the Goths. They're dealing with too many frontal wars at the moment. Egypt's still engaging in a few battles here. Looks like they might be sending off more embarked units. Greece is kind of barely holding on, but luckily for them, the Hittites aren't really ready to take out the Greeks. If the Hittites build up, regenerate an army fast enough, then I think they could do damage and kick the Greeks out of, is it Anatolia? I believe it's Anatolia. Okay, so Austria got them down to the yellow. Now it will be Hungary's turn. They better get a melee unit in there, or else we're going to see another big mistake from the AI, which, what else is new? France, I don't think is going to be able to get this done. Don't think France is going to be able to take over Milan just yet. How's that Spanish city doing up here? Not bad, 5 population. They're growing pretty well. Surprising. Scandinavia still, for the most part, very divided. No one really seems like they're going to be the clear winner out of this. And once again, no one's able to take over Prussia or Poland. Now you have Novgorod entering this territory too. How's Novgorod doing in terms of units? They're okay. Russia's okay, but luckily, like for them, the Huns are so weak right now. The Armenians just did work. Oh, see, they're the Huns. I think they're going to lose most of their units, though. So we've never seen Eastern Europe this weak before. Eastern Europe is so weak right now. This is the first time in the campaign where Central Europe actually has an advantage. And if they were to invade, they'd have a huge advantage over all... I bet you if we check over the Infoetics, which we did, recently we checked over the military manpower, and we saw, like, England on top. That's because Russia's in a lot of wars. Novgorod, obviously, their team member. The Huns have been breaking down. Obviously, the Greeks and the Goths alliance, that whole thing is over. So, yeah, I mean, Central Europe, if they were to set their sights on the east, they'd be able to do a lot of damage, but I don't think they will. They'll have, I think, a good 20 turns to maybe do that. The thing is, there's no powerful Central European power that I think could do enough damage. Maybe if Lithuania gets up enough troops. Maybe if Sweden attacks some of the coastal cities that Russia and Novgorod have. But it's not very likely. If there were a central power that had formed by now, they'd be able to get their way and do whatever they want. I think with the East. Bam. Okay, so it looks like Hungary's going to take this over, but I don't see a Hungarian melee unit nearby, so that's the thing. So maybe they won't. Munich's still holding on. Still a bunch of battles going on between Bavaria and Milan. And unfortunately for France, they're too distracted by this city when they should have attacked their capital, Milan. Still can't wait to see what Spain and the British do. I know they've got to be in the top 3 in terms of military power, so they might get themselves involved into a very interesting war. Maybe be against France. Maybe it'd be against maybe a French empire that's starting to lose units through just a dumb strategy against Milan. I could see that. A second invasion of Paris might be... I mean, their first war with France went really well, at least for Spain. Not so much for the British. Novgorod won this, but look at that. France was really close. Not really, really close, but they were second place. The Hittites had done well also. Interestingly. Okay, so yeah, I'll probably propose the international games next. So Austria will take this over, I believe. Maybe not, actually. Bohemia has a rifleman. I don't see how Austria could do it. Wait, what unit? Oh, bam, there's another city that dropped to Egypt. Wow. And Kufa will get taken over by all these privateers, looks like. Novgorod has kind of had to retreat somewhat. And Poland, yeah, Prussia, Poland and Prussia defended themselves. They're retreating. They're retreating backwards. The Hittites are still at war with who? Is it the Umayyad or is it the Assyrians? I think it's the Assyrians. And is Armenia done? Yeah, Armenia's pretty much done with their war, I think. Yeah, they're done with their war. How are the Huns doing? The Huns had to retreat too. So Poland, Prussia peaced out with Assyria. Assyria, who happens to be not by himself, with Milan. So Milan's going to be in the... Well, it didn't matter. I mean, Poland, Prussia wasn't providing that much pressure at all on Milan. Wow. Still amazed by this just slow decline. This slow, epic fall down to the very bottom. They were at number 1. They were number 1. Okay, so where's Hungary at? Can Hungary do this? Did they already move? I think they did, yeah. So they've got a rifleman in place. Oh, Austria will take this over, which I think is for the best. Austria is definitely the stronger power here. And that'll be good, cleaning up the borders a little bit. For the most part. So, boom, there goes that city. We've got the Netherlands, Arabia, Armenia. Oh, this was probably Arabian-Armenian war. More than likely. Remember, Arabia's by themselves because Bulgaria fell a long time ago. There's a peace deal. I'm surprised they didn't peace out for a city. That's shocking. Could have swore that was going to happen. We also have a peace deal between Bohemia, Greece, and the Goths. Well, Arabia's too far behind. They're not going to go after Armenia. They're too far away. So that war doesn't really matter. We've got the Netherlands versus Denmark. That's big. I'm sorry, yeah. Denmark declaring war on the Netherlands. That is really big. Because not only is it Denmark, but it's also Scotland. That is going to hurt for sure, I think. Well, I don't know. It's going to be close. Yep, Austria did, in fact, take the city over. So Austria's up to 4 cities now. They better come up here and protect Salzburg. They better get up there fast. Which they will. They're already near Vienna. You know, they might even just take over Prague. Didn't even consider that. They might go straight after Prague now. So I think this is it. The coalition against the Greeks and the Goths is over. Novgorod coming in for like a 4th attempt to take over the Prussian capital. They're actually attacking the city, which is good, but Poland's bringing in reinforcements. Really want to see what's going to happen in the North Sea. This is going to be interesting. Denmark has a land invasion, but if Scotland sends over its forces, which it looks like they will, then this is going to be a tough thing for the Netherlands to overcome. Yeah, that's going to be very tough. And also, I mean, I think that Oslo, Norway, is probably going to sit here, so is Sweden, and see who ends up losing this the worst. Not so much Sweden, but Norway's in a very interesting spot because they can pretty much take advantage of whichever civ loses, which will more than likely be the Netherlands. Look at all these, this fleet is ready to go. It's right there next to Rotterdam. They could just, boom, walk in there, I think, quite fast. Okay, so here comes Austria. I think Austria has a very good opportunity of possibly taking over Prague here. If they had some support from Poland, that would help them. But yeah, I don't think they actually need the support. Austria Hungary is strong enough to be okay, I think. Pope is starting to build a fleet. You got to watch that. I'm sure Egypt is probably going to begin their invasion of Greece. They'll probably invade Greece for a second time soon. You know, the Armenians still hold this city. So the Huns are done. The Huns are pretty much done. The Goths even have units over here. I mean, the Goths might even take back some of their cities. Maybe go after Attila's court itself, which would, you know, needless to say, be huge. Okay, so what's Bohemia going to do? I can't remember if Bohemia is at war with Bavaria. I don't know. This is still going to be hard for Hungary and Austria to do, to battle through Prague and all these units. All right, there's already a few invasions going on in the North Sea, and or a little invasion going on in the North Sea. You know, the British could also be involved here. The British also have high stakes. Amsterdam is it's always a really great city. The Vandals have built the Statue of Liberty, so that's happened. Then we have, well, I mean, no one's really going to be able to do anything about North Africa, so it doesn't matter how many wonders they continue to spam down there in that continent. It's really doesn't matter. Why is Denmark over here, man? Invade, dude. Just go for it. But like I said in the beginning of this video, I think we are going to need. Well, I don't know yet. I'm just going to throw out the idea, but maybe we will either do one of two things. Either make sure that every team is far away from each other, or make sure that every team is right there next to each other. Doing random, I think, helps certain teams out more than others. So we'll probably do something like that in the future. We'll see. Still not exactly sure what we're going to do about the next Civ 5 AI-only battle. I've got something in an idea. It really depends on how this continues to go, though. Really kind of depends. Where's Armenia at? How are they doing? You're continuing to reinforce, so that's good. And we still have a few small skirmishes going on between Assyria and the Hittites. So the Hittites really haven't been able to rebuild probably as much as they'd like, but they need to, because these three Greek cities are undefended. They could go in there and have, I think, a pretty good day taking over 3 Greek cities, kicking out Greece, putting them back into kind of Greek territory, modern-day Greek territory, world's most wonderful people. We've got the Vandals, number 1, then the Moors, then Norway, and the Sumer, very small. Oh, this is the Moors, actually. This is the Vandals. This is Novgorod. My mistake. Okay, let's go one more turn here. The Goths are, making their own invasion. That's pretty crazy. And I don't believe, let's see, Poland, Prussia peacing out with Egypt and the Moors. Nothing there. Salzburg still, so they're not going after Bohemia. They might be going after the Goths then, technically. That could be a thing. Really, right now, Hungary desperately needs another city. Hungary at 14 population is not enough. It's really just Austria on their own. And they desperately need something else here. What are the British going to do, man? British have so many troops. You know, the British might totally flip the script, and I know that the Netherlands look like they're going to lose this, but I feel like they could just go after Denmark instead. I don't know. Anyways, guys, I'm going to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.